Alright, and this is going to be a little guide about how to survive in the Black Zone with the Gallant Horse. First, let's get the straight facts about this horse out of the way. The reason for using this mount is simply its ability. It is called Relentless Charge, and it says start to trot, becoming immune to all crowd control effects and damage, and increasing your move speed by 40% for 4 seconds. This is amazingly good for getting out of bad situations, mainly getting chased by big ganking groups, which are the main danger for solo gatherers, solo PvE players, solo PvP players even. Worth mentioning, of course, are also the increased armor and magical resistance and CC resistance when using this horse. So these add up to the natural magic resist, CC resistance, physical resist of the items that you are wearing. Also worth mentioning is the gallop move speed bonus. It's plus 125%. So you are faster than Swift Claws. You are faster than Huskies. The only thing that is faster than you is a sped up Panther, a sped up Husky, or dire wolves and grey wolves. So the difference is not that high. Likewise, it is not really possible for them to get in front of you, dismount, and then use their abilities when cutting you off. Now that the necessary facts are out of the way, it's time to explain how to exactly use this ability effectively in dangerous situations to get the most use out of it to actually survive dangerous situations. And to explain how you can benefit from this ability, I'm going to let this clip be shown and explain meanwhile. This is a clip from my Zero to Hero Fisherman series where I'm using the Gallant Horse because fish does not need a lot of carry weight, so the Gallant Horse is the perfect mount for fisherman, definitely. Let's let it roll. I'm getting cornered by tons of people. I'm in a relatively bad position, but I'm very close to the exit, as you can see here on the minimap. My position is here, very close to the southwestern exit. So I just need a little bit more, need to cover a little bit more space to actually get into safety, because the goal is always to reach exits of the map that you're in. For example, roads of Avalon portals or the general map exits. Here I start using my ability. I see a dismounted person right next to me, or rather right in front of me. And the thing is, there is quite a bit of space that I still need to get through. The way is still relatively long, and so here there's already the first important point about the Gallant Horse ability. When you are immune to damage because you use it, you will not lose the gallop when somebody attacks you. I'm using the ability relatively early here. The Bloodletter will not really CC me, and likewise will not be as dangerous to me, but because the way is still so long, I do not want to lose my gallop. So let's see. Right here I already activate my ability. He's hitting me, he's throwing poison at me, and I still have the gallop buff, as you can see here in the top left corner. I still have the gallop buff, so I can quickly get through this. Here I have some CC tank right next to me who cannot use his CC abilities. He cannot crowd control me, he cannot stun me, he cannot root me, and likewise I can just run past him which would not have been possible without this mount. I do have a Fort Sterling cape, but that will only help me against one CC spell. And that is definitely not enough when you run into such big groups, and there are even bigger groups and stronger groups than this in this clip. Here my ability ends, but I still have the Fort Sterling cape. The double-bladed staff is using his stun on me, but thanks to the Fort Sterling cape, I can simply continue running towards the exit. This was a relatively dangerous moment right here. You can see on the ground the ability of the CC tank. This is a stun. This could have led, if he hit that spell, this could have led to me getting dismounted, which is extremely bad. The main point is always to never get dismounted when you are getting chased by big groups. When you get dismounted, your chance of survival is extremely low. They can easily mount up right next to you and dismount next to you, and you are lacking all your abilities to get away from them. So I was able to get through the exit, and here they do not really have a chance to catch me anymore. Their mounts will just be equally as fast as mine. So I would just be able to run away from them for forever. So there will come a point where they stop chasing me, which these enemies, this ganking group does very early because they are smart. They know they cannot catch me, or they are just busy in the last map catching other people. And this is how I got out. The thing is, there are two different situations in which you want to use this ability. The first situation is, of course, when the enemies that are next to you would deal enough damage to dismount you. Pretty simple, pretty logical. But also you want to use this ability when people could CC you, when they are about to use their CC spells, their crowd control. For example, the stuns or roots. Let's roll the clip back a little bit. Here, if there wasn't this bloodletter guy in front of me 1 or 2 seconds ago, I would have at least now used my Gallant Horse ability, so I do not get CC'd from the CC tank, so all of his friends could catch up to me and also do use their abilities on me. These are basically the two situations, either when you are in threat of getting dismounted because of the damage potential, or when you are in threat of getting CC'd until their friends can catch up. This is the general knowledge that one needs to use the Gallant Horse, but being able to use it effectively, having the right timing, requires you to actually know what the items, the spells of the gankers do. And this just requires a little bit of research, basically, a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of experience to use it, to use the Gallant Horse effectively. I would recommend using the Gallant Horse to people who are either solo or duo players in the Black Zone who move farther away from the Black Zone entries, like 2 or 3 maps away from the Black Zone portals, Black Zone cities. Simply because it's not the most expensive mount. It only costs between 500 and 800,000 silver. So if you're using gear that is worth, for example, 1 or 1.5 million silver, and you're going to gather loot around 500k silver, 1 million silver, 2 million silver in your runs, then it is definitely worth it to use the Gallant Horse.